The theory of evolution, one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time, rivaled only by the invention of canned bread and the Gazelle elliptical glider.
Evolution is basically the basis of everything we know about life itself. It is the biological model for the history of the Earth and all forms of life. Without evolution, everything would be.
We can thank evolution for all of the varieties of life that we see today. Because of evolution, the best selected changes have been carried from generation to generation for the species to grow and adapt to their current environment. It's basically nature's natural way of breeding animals.
There are various types of evidence that have helped scientists and researchers to connect the pieces of the evolutionary puzzle. However, the most important of all is most definitely embryology. Need proof? Then let's consult with Dilan Chudasma, head of the Department of Organismic and Evolutionary Biology at Harvard University.
My studies have largely been based on the work of Darwin, and throughout my career I've spent a considerable amount of time dissecting his work, The Origin of Species.
Each time, my focus seems to always drift towards embryology, and the evidence that particular component introduces and provides is just obviously the strongest. Basically, I have been able to boil it down to 5 rudimentary principles. Number 1, between the embryo and adult, there are usually differences. Number 2, structures such as limbs and segments seem same in the embryo, but individualized in each species in its adult form. The third reason, different species in the same class have very similar embryos, but are very different in adult forms. The fourth reason, embryonic structure isn't really related to conditions of existence or the features a living thing needs to survive. And the last one, embryos tend to be more highly organized than adult forms. This might sound complicated if you haven't spent as many years I have researching this, but what this essentially means is that embryology provides indisputable facts that show evolution.
Still need convincing that embryology is the best? Then let's hear from our expert eyewitness and see what he thinks.
I am a Quercus alba, otherwise known to some of you common folk as a white oak tree. But my neighbors call me the tree of life because I've been around for so long. I can tell you firsthand that evolution is real. I saw it. Back when I was just a little sapling, I witnessed all these squirrels scurrying about, gathering nuts and such that all the big kids dropped from their branches. You see, at first these squirrels were all the same, but then something happened and their color changed. This new color just kept sticking around, and before I knew it, they had taken it over. Now, I know this doesn't have much to do with embryology, but I saw all these pictures and stuff, and I have to say, in my expert opinion, embryology just shows a lot of similarities that makes the most sense, and why would you listen to anyone other than a tree?
Miss Ainsley, what is an embryo?
Well, an embryo is this. But the thing is, this egg doesn't have all the ingredients to become a baby quite yet. It needs to be fertilized.
Do all babies look the same?
Great question. In the mom's tummy, the animals share a common set of characteristics. The segments and limbs are identical.
However, in later stages, they develop to form new organs and structures.
So what do they look like?
Well, they look like this. Notice that these embryos all look fairly similar, as well as these. However, these animals are very different. Most of the changes come when they develop into adults.
That's nice.
Clearly, all this evidence goes to show that embryology is a relatively simple concept that supports Darwin's theory of evolution the very best. If the previously provided evidence just isn't enough, visit our website at www.biology.com or call in now using the number listed below to talk to one of our professionals. Thanks for sticking with us, folks, and remember, embryology, the keystone to evolution.